What's good, people? It's your boy Venom, alongside my co-host, the one and only /Dammy Zane.
Yeah.
Welcome to Unpicked. If this is your first time joining us, thank you very much. Welcome to the family. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you enjoy the conversation. And if you're already part of the family, you don't know. Thank you for joining us once again. Today, actually, we're going to talk about this.
I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
So Venom, what was your first reaction when you saw that video?
Do you know what? I missed this completely. I feel like social media, I'm on the ball-ish, but I 100% missed this. I had random people telling me about it. Like, you know when people who are not on the ball, like how you think you're on the ball, and they're fully enlightening you to that's what I had. And I thought they were talking about something old. And I was like, Will Smith slapped who? What? Where? I was gobsmacked. I just never thought in all of my life that I would see Will Smith show the ghetto, if you know what I mean. And I'm still undecided on how I've taken it in a lot of different ways. How do you feel about it? Because
See, when I watched it, I didn't know how to feel. I was kind of like, okay, my immediate reaction was, this is very out of character. In terms of what we get to see of Will.
From Will,
out
for
of
sure.
Character. And I had to watch it a few times because I like to analyze in it. I'm a bit of an analyst, you get me?
Same.
You know what I mean? And the first time I watched it, obviously, I thought, this can't be real. I was like, they've got to be acting. First, because Will actually laughed at the joke. And I'm thinking, if he was that offended, he wouldn't laugh straight away. He would have been like, is this man is this man okay? Because remember, people are arguing that Will, he's human, obviously, and he's had enough. He reached his breaking point at that point. But I think that if that was if that was the string that would have broken the camel's back, surely his reaction would have been immediate. It wouldn't have been and then stroll up and punch him. That's my opinion.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And then, of course, because he laughed at it, and then, of course, as well, because Chris Rock didn't actually react. And I saw, like, the headlines in the beginning was, they had an altercation. They didn't have an altercation. Will just got up, pumped him, and sat down. There was no real altercation. When Will was bare effing and blinding, Chris Rock didn't really say anything back. So there wasn't an altercation there. It was Will reacting. So I was kind of like, this doesn't seem real. Like, these lot could be... And then for like 5 minutes later, for Will to get up and accept his Oscar and show a completely different version of himself in such a short amount of time, I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I definitely...
Did you think it was real in the beginning?
Took it in so many different ways. So I heard about it first, then I watched it. The first version that I watched didn't include the part where Will sat back down and then started
like
talking.
Effing,
So when I just saw the slap, I was like, that's fake. That's not real, because basically they both still had smiles on their face. And Will had been laughing, and he got up with a smile on his face, slapped him, and turned around, still had a smile on his face. Pretty normal, not smug.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, walking back, his face was pretty much normal. Like, he has like a... Watch it again, but he has like a smile kind of vibe. So I was like, oh yeah, like that was fake kind of thing. Or not fake, but like, you know, it was a... And Chris Rock's reaction is quite fast, so it almost looks like he didn't get slapped in, like, you know, like if you just do the motion, yeah, exactly. So I was like, was that? I can't tell.
Staged.
But I could see the emotion when Will was saying, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I could see the
way
emotion,
his mouth
and I could
curled
see
up,
that.
yeah, that was real.
Yeah, he was
real.
real angry. I was like, I know this guy can
Yeah,
act
but
for real, but
That
this
was from the
is
heart.
anger. Like, yeah, like he's almost gonna mispronounce these words because he's that vexed kind of thing.
Twitter is my favorite place because someone said that. Someone said on Twitter, someone said that Chris should have come back with, if this is how he behaves in March, how does he behave in August? And I said, Will would have just got back up. Will would have just got it would have been so peak.
Do you know what it is as well? Part of it, I'm even thinking about, the episode that we did with Will and Jada. I'm even thinking like, so imagine if Will saw that episode. Is this contributing?
He's coming to you,
like,
Shay.
Is it?
He's coming to you, Venom.
Yeah, you was definitely talking to. But
he's coming to you because he's not coming to Tom. He's not thumping me. Well. What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say to me?
Listen,
what's he gonna say to me?
You're gonna say, hey, Dami Zayn, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? That's what he's gonna say.
He ain't touching me because I will sue his clot. Listen.
I mean, he has been the butt of the jokes for basically the whole pandemic.
He's been the butt of the jokes for years.
It's literally been years. It's been a tough run recently for a man like Will Smith, especially because he is the prince, the fresh prince. You know the legendary status, and then the way he's been. It's a lot, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I just never thought I would ever see Angry Will because he's always got the show on, and that was just next level. And I was saying to my friends, but when I finally got to see it, I was like, I still don't know how to take it. Like, I get it. She's got alopecia. Man made a joke about her hair loss, etc., etc. I get it. Yeah, but then I said I felt like the turn up was kind of like, when Kanye turned up on Sway.
Yeah.
When he went on Sway in the morning and they were talking about fashion and stuff. And I was like, no, I totally get the turn up, but it doesn't feel 100% right because you know that the person who got turned up on isn't entirely the enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. He made the joke, etc. But like, yeah. At the same time, it's definitely like nice to see a man in the public eye at a moment it happens, like a disrespect or something that he felt was a disrespect, like stand up for his woman. That's also like really admirable. I definitely felt like I need me a man like Will Smith. And I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, bro, I'm saying it because you know when them trolls came for me when they're calling me a dusty and
you're trying to win their hearts back.
My fiance tried to throw me under the bus. She weren't trying to come in the comment section and defend me, and then. You know what I'm saying? Certain times I'm seeing Dami Zayn. Like,
are you really trying to
throw me to the walls
I'm not your woman, so I don't need to defend you. That's got nothing to do with me. That's got nothing to do with me. If I had a Will Smith on my team, I was like, if I had me a man like Will Smith, come slap them girls in the comments. You get me? If you had a man like Will Smith, I probably would have got slapped by now because, to be honest, sometimes I'd be throwing shade.
Yo,
I'll be throwing shade.
Get you a Will Smith.
I don't know because I deeped it and I was like, okay, I like for my man to defend me, but I don't like it when they do it in a violent way. That's me personally. So I was thinking,
I gave him an open hand slap.
Listen, he reached back to his ancestors to clot him. He said, I'm gonna reach. You know when someone reaches all the way back, he did a 180 slap. He reached all the way to the back of.
It was quick.
Well, yo, I wouldn't want to get thunderclapped by Will because that slap sounded like a pop. It didn't sound like a clap. It sounded like a punch. But anyway, I put myself in Jada's shoes, yeah, and I was thinking, how would I react, Dami Zayn? How would I react if I was sitting there at an awards ceremony with my man and someone makes a dig at me with my alopecia and my man goes onto the stage and slaps the guy, how would I feel about it? Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was having this conversation with my cousin, and like I was saying how for me personally, I would have been embarrassed. Now it's not it's
But what, embarrassed more than the alopecia?
yeah, I would have been
joke?
embarrassed by Will's reaction, and
More than the
the
joke.
joke. And the reason is because, like I said before, I don't really like aggressive behavior personally. I find it embarrassing actually, because it's kind of like, okay, have some decorum. And I know online,
it's basic.
online there was a lot of F decorum, because some people were coming at it about, is this how black people want to behave? Is this how we want to portray ourselves? Da, 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 da. And some people were like, listen, like black people can react to things however they want to. Like, leave this whole black people argument out of it, which I agree with actually, and that's not my reasoning behind it. My reasoning for why I would be embarrassed is kind of like, I'm thinking of it from a professional perspective, because the way I see it is, yes, it's an award ceremony, but it's an award ceremony to give recognition for your work, and this is his job is to act. So I kind of I kind of equated it to a recognition ceremony at work that you might some organizations might do. And imagine
for sure.
like there's always the person presenting always has to do some banter, and sometimes they'll make jokes about the employees in the room. And imagine you're in just think about it, you and your partner work in the same place, and they've made a jab at your partner, and then your partner decides to get up and punch the co-worker in front of everyone. Professionally, that doesn't look good. That's how I was looking at it. I was thinking, and then you even got an award afterwards, and the award got called into question because now there was talks about Will losing the Oscar off the back of it. The first Oscar he's ever
but they
got.
can't do that because
I mean, they can ban him from coming to events later on, but it's not that deep, I don't think. But
they can do that.
But I just feel like I saw it from a professional like perspective. Like, babe, don't fumble the bag because you want to do hero, and that doesn't mean that I don't believe in my man protecting me, like defending me, because there's also a lot of finally a black man defending a black woman, which I absolutely agree with, but there's other ways to do it. Like, they could have beefed outside, they could have, do you know what I mean? Like, it could have been after the show.
I know, but Will just said on site, innit?
Will said on site.
I mean,
and I feel like that's very hood and very like aggressive.
I know, but
that's
I can't,
the bit that I'm saying.
I can't
because
knock
with
it.
me, I'd be like, on our way here, we're like, babes, why did you have to like make us the talk of like now? People are not really talking about your Oscar, babes. Now people are talking about how you clarted this guy. Like, couldn't you have done it a different way? And I feel like that's just me. And I know it sounds so ungrateful because like you was protecting me, and then the person you were protecting turns around and says, babes, you kind of embarrassed me. But it would be like, don't fumble the bag, babe. Like, why did you do that? Especially because Will's brand isn't aggression. He's not.
It's not, but you don't know what his next film might be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
So are you
thing.
are you suggesting? Because I also thought that as well.
Depends what the next film he's doing is.
This could all be a publicity stunt, and I wouldn't put it past the Smiths to do it as a publicity.
Yeah, it depends on the next film. When I see what the next film is that he's doing, then I'll know. But I'm still in between. I actually need to talk to Bay about it because I'm trying to understand. If it's wrong or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's mixed, man. Because, like I said, some people were like, "Yes, good, absolutely, yeah. I want a bae that's gonna punch someone in the face for me," and I get it. I get it. There's some sort of pride to that, my man. You know, but I do feel like it plays into toxic masculinity a little bit, and I feel like there's ways to defend me without actually hitting someone. If Chris Rock had slapped Jada and in response, domino effect, Will slapped Chris, cool. But you cracked a joke about me, and I get it. It's about her hair.
Definitely,
It's about her alopecia. Not to even diminish what she's going through, but do you know that a lot of black women have alopecia? So it's it's a touchy thing, innit? Black women's hair. It's a touchy subject. I get it. but still, I still feel like for me, I'd be like, babes, you didn't have to touch him, you know.
I mean, she might have said that because I haven't seen. Like the unfortunate thing is the camera doesn't go back to Jada at any point in this narrative anyway, so you never get to see how she felt because if you got to see her, you'd very quickly be able to understand. Oh, she definitely encouraged this or appreciated this. Like this feeds into her love languages, or do you know what I mean? It's very much a part of their relationship. His reaction. So it's a tricky one without being able to see her not once afterwards.
But we saw her face when the joke was
tricky.
cracked, and people are like,
yeah,
he must
that's
have
the
looked
only
at
time
her and saw how upset she was. But she didn't look. I mean,
she just looked like
she looked disappointed. Yeah, she looked like, is that all?
Yeah, she was like, bruv, that's a dead
really,
joke.
Like really, that's the look. That's what I read from her face.
But then, do you know what? Yeah, there isn't. We have missed something in terms of not we've missed it, but like there's something that we haven't seen because you know he tells the joke. You see her face do that thing whilst Will's like half laughing, which I feel personally is show laughing because he's at the Oscars and he's just being someone at the Oscars, not necessarily finding it funny. But then when it cuts back to Chris, he goes, "Oh, come on." And when he said that he's reacting to something he's seeing. Yeah. Where something has happened.
Come on, Jada.
That he's seeing. Yeah, he's like, he said that was a nice one. That was a nice one.
Yeah, that was a nice one. It could have been.
And then Will gets up.
Yeah.
But we didn't see what he was seeing.
You make a point there.
That is obviously where the real conversation is just like eyes or whatever.
Yeah, and I actually saw another clip after where Denzel Washington and and what's that guy's name?
Tyler Perry.
Funny how I was gonna say Medea first as well.
I said Medea
so
first.
He's at
He's
this
Medea
point.
first.
He's at this point first.
And
do you know he
Tyler
said
Perry.
real quick? Yeah, do you know that Tyler Perry said that sometimes he uses the Medea voice in bed?
I mean, actually, it almost makes sense. He's not married though, or is he married?
I don't know.
Is he a gallus? Because I kind of feel like girls or women would want that. At some point.
Okay.
No.
You know what, guys? Drop in the comments because I don't even want to go into it. I don't even want to go into it because to me it's
100. Not even him, yeah. Not even him. But like basically, I met someone at a time. I'm trying to keep the details all vague.
Of course.
Met someone at a time who performs wearing a scary mask, and he told me that sometimes when he pulls girls, they ask him to wear the mask.
That's different. That's him wearing a scary mask. Black women are
I get it, but I mean that's
black
weird.
Women are sick and tired of black men dressing up as them and taking a piss, and that's what he does. Medea is satire of a black woman. It's a satirical. Of course. We are done with that. Listen, if you don't want to have a,
but maybe it's not black women he's sleeping with.
I don't care. Well, I mean, if it's not black women that he's sleeping with and they're doing that, that's a bit weird, isn't it? If you're gonna be like a white woman asking a black man to pretend to be a black woman when you're sleeping with it. But as for black women, I mean, there might be. I can't speak for all, as ever. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm sick and tired of seeing black men dress up as black women and using that as to break into the comedy industry or use that as part of your gig. Yeah. So if I'm dating a comedian who does that, you're definitely not bringing that character into the bedroom, babes. Absolutely not. You won't get none. No, not over here, babes. But anyway, Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington went to console Will straight after the punch, or after keep my wife out your effing mouth business, yeah. And then I think someone else went to talk to him. It might have been someone that's working off stage, that's part of the production.
Oh right, yeah.
And Will was wiping his eyes, which suggested that Will was crying. Then he went back to sit next to Jada. That's when I realized it was real. Or that's when I started to believe it was real, because it obviously affected Will to the point where people are consoling him. He's wiping his eyes like he's been crying, like, and I get it. He's been the butt of the joke for so long, like I get it. And when the thing is, I mean, Nicki Minaj wrote a thread about it, Auntie Nicki, And she said, she gave a perspective that I was like, actually, do you know what? I get that, She was saying how when you're in a relationship, you will see how things affect your partner. So obviously Will would have he's seen like Jada cry about her hair, maybe like making the decision to cut all her hair off. Like your hair is for a woman, your hair is your beauty, like all of that stuff. You would have seen firsthand how all of that has affected her. Not to speak of all the times where comedians use them as the butt of their jokes and other people. And so like she's saying for a husband to look at his wife and see the impact it's having on her, and then obviously he's gonna react. And she was saying how comedians get away with doing this a lot, actually, like taking the piss out of people as part of their stand-up, and no one really does anything, even if they push the boat out and make below the belt jokes and comments, they get away with it. So at the end of the day, Will was just like, I'm gonna support my wife right here right now and let you know that that's a no-go. And I thought,
yeah, that's not running.
I actually agree with what Nikki is saying. My only gripe with the whole thing is I'm kind of disappointed that it went violent. And I feel like as much as and like people are not going to agree with me, people are going to think Chris was out of line and he deserved a punch. But I genuinely think that because Chris wasn't physical to begin with, it was unwarranted for Will to be physical, because it kind of misdirected the attention from the ill-formed comments that Chris made to the fact that Will was violent. It's kind of like when someone pokes a bear quietly on the side and the poking looks small to everyone else, but then the bear reacts in like a big way. So then now it's like, why did you scream for something that was a whisper? Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's how it came across to me. Like, Will, you didn't need to punch him. You physically got up and walked on the stage to punch him. You could have just said he could have cut that bit out and just gone straight to the keep my wife's effing name out of your mouth.
That's what I was just thinking.
That would have been enough.
That's what I was thinking, but
that would have been enough.
It would have been enough. It would have been enough. But I think as well that everybody is painted Will as being soft or whatever you may. And I was watching a random other video, just to use it as an analogy. I was watching this other video where a woman had a pet snake and she was showing her friend. And so she was like trying to like usher the snake out of its cage thing. And it was a constrictor, which means it's not venomous, but when it grabs you, it bites you and it just wraps around. Anyway, it just bit her on the wrist and it began constricting. And everyone's beating the snake and trying to rip it off her and da-da-da. And I'm laughing my head off like, but the snake is being a snake, bruv. Like, everything else was luck that it was your pet and you know what I mean? But right now, the snake is actually just being a snake. Yeah. And everyone takes for granted that, oh yeah, like, I'm going to tell a joke about you, but, you have to be nice because we're in public and blah, blah. And I'm not saying that Chris's joke was either too far or I'm not really judging the level of his joke. A joke is a joke. It's
100%.
It's all about how people receive things, you know what I mean? And I don't think I don't hold Will to account in this particular moment for how he reacted, because the cage was open. You poked the snake and the cage was open, and how the snake reacted, that's just what you got. Do you know what I mean? It could have been a hiss. It could have been a bite. You know what I mean? It just, you rolled the dice when you wrote the joke and you just thought it would land in your favor and it didn't.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you, I'm conflicted and I don't think I'll ever settle on one side.
I'm mad conflicted.
But I know for a fact that if I was Jada, I would have been embarrassed. And it's because, and here comes Dami with all the experiences that she's had. I have been in a predicament where someone disrespected me in public and my partner retaliated in an aggressive way. And as much as it was endearing for him to do that, I felt kind of embarrassed. It was kind of like, now you've drawn attention to us and you didn't have to. It could have just been a word. Because the moment you get aggressive, it kind of magnifies the very thing that you was trying to protect me from in the first place. For me personally, it highlights it. So now, if I was sitting in jail, like, what could have been, we laughed about it, everyone laughed, I feel how I feel about it, I might talk to my partner about it, cry about it behind closed doors, and that's it. Not the whole world talking about it, not other spectators seeing that and it becomes a topic of conversation. I reckon everyone would have forgotten about the whole thing if they just laughed it off and kept it moving. But now I have to relive that situation over and over again, because now you've made it a bigger spectacle than what it needed to be. And that's why, for me personally, if I was in Jada's shoes, I would be embarrassed, because now it's become a topic of conversation for so many people. So, and people are now people are having opinions about it, and people are having like saying, oh, he shouldn't have done it, he should have done it. People are now talking about my alopecia, something that I might not have wanted people.
But she brought that up though. No, she brought that to the public forum.
She brought it to the public forum again. Like, but I'm just saying, if I was her, I probably wouldn't have brought it to the public forum. But nonetheless, she kind of had to bring it to the public forum because she needs to justify why Will reacted like that. Do you see what I'm saying? No,
she brought it way before this situation. She brought it to the public forum because basically the alopecia occurred in such a way at the front of her head that she basically said it's going to be impossible for me to hide it at this point. So I'm just going to tell you guys because I don't want you guys asking questions randomly.
Now, that
so I've got alopecia and
slightly. I mean, I still think that Will didn't need to be violent, but it does help me rationalize his reaction, because to me it just felt like okay, he said that she'd be the next G.I. Joe, or she should be on the next G.I. Joe, and thump him. Why? And okay, she's got alopecia and she's told everyone she's got alopecia, but still, the fact that everyone knew about it. I also heard that he didn't write that joke anyway.
He probably didn't. I mean, comedians have a team sometimes.
Yeah, there was a team
to help them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which means that Will's reaction was kind of misdirected. Because how much...
That's why I said about the sway thing. I'm like, I get it, but at the same time...
Because how much power does Chris have to say, I'm not going to tell that joke?
Oh, 100% he has power. He could easily just not say that joke. I know that obviously he's been paid to do the BAFTAs, but if he doesn't do a joke...
I don't see him agreeing...
Oh, sorry, the Oscars, which show it was.
I don't think any comedian... I mean, after today, comedians will think twice before talking about Will and Jada, but I don't think... prior to this happening, which could have been the outcome Will wanted. Prior to this, I don't see anyone saying, any Will and Jada joke. I don't see them say, I'm not going to say that, because they know that they're. Come on, it's a topic. Everyone knows it's content. It's pop culture. It's pop culture. At this point, it's either going to be about August 2-pack or something, talk about their open marriage, or it's going to be whatever. There was also a conversation about not black men, but anyone, period, talking about black women's hair. And I'm kind of on the fence about this one as well. And I feel like, I think I've even said this before in the past, but not specific to black women. But I feel like in general, people are just so sensitive now. And I feel like any conversation about there's certain demographics you can't talk about anymore, even in jest, without it being a cancelable
You know what, you're reminding me, this is the perfect segue.
Go for it.
Let me jump in briefly, because this is... So I was saying to Bay over this weekend, I think it was over this weekend, I said, oh my gosh, next time I get on the podcast with Dami, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, Dami, I know exactly how to trigger black women. As a black man, anyway.
Go on, test me out.
Are you ready?
Test me out.
I'm going to test you. You ready? You ready?
Yeah,
Are you sure you're ready?
Try.
Are you seated?
I am seated.
You seated and ready, yeah?
I'm smiling right now, as you can see.
Okay,
Let's see if the smile goes.
Here it goes.
All
Here
right.
it goes. Black women. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I mean, I'm not triggered.
I can see your blood. boiling.
It's not that. It's just more like the fact. Do you know? I'm not triggered, but I feel like it maybe because I feel a bit disenfranchised with the whole like anything offends black women. I'm kind of tired of that now.
I think I think anything offends black women if a black man says it.
Yeah, but also if a white person says it.
I don't think it.
Yes.
I think
yes,
I think
if a white person says,
I think it depends on how. I think it depends on how with white people.
Black women, anything a white woman says about a black woman is more times gonna trigger a black woman and anything a black man.
I'm now trying to think who triggers a black woman more.
A white woman,
saying
a
the
white
thing.
woman or a black man. Who triggers the black woman more?
Or a white man. Yeah.
More time probably. No, I wouldn't say a white man. I wouldn't say a white man, but I definitely think.
Me either.
I definitely think a black man is slightly ahead of the white woman.
Of a white woman.
Therefore,
That's
those
what
are
I
the two
think as
demographics
well.
right now. If they speak about a black woman, the black woman's there's gonna be some
it's
sort.
flames.
It's flames. It's arms house. It's let's go
Flames,
outside.
flames.
Let's do this. Take off my shoes. Remove earrings. Wigs coming off because I need to beat you down. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Boy. Taking off the finger.
Listen, everything's coming off. Like it's what's good.
Who is it? You want to tussle?
Who said that? Who said what's good? Who said what's good? Which rapper was
What's
it that
good?
said what's good? Was it Miley Cyrus? Was it Nicki Minaj? What's good?
Yeah, it's Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
for sure.
what's good? Yeah.
She said it to Miley.
And
Yeah,
award
she turned
share.
up real quick. I
What's
can't even
good?
remember what Miley said. All I know is
That's
Nicki
what I'm
was
saying.
like,
Whenever there's an aggressive reaction, people forget what poked the bear. They just remember the reaction.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's...
They just remember the bear.
Trust me. I just feel like... And I at this point, I don't care if people want. I actually don't give a. I will not respond to you if you come at me with this one. Sorry, but I feel like black women. I know we're tired. I know we've had adversity. I'm a black woman myself. I've experienced adversity. I can't quantify how much, but I've experienced it. But even I sometimes online when I see black women running to take offense, I'm like, okay. It's tiring being in this demographic already. Why can't we just sometimes just try not to look for places where you can be offended? Because sometimes I feel
you
like
can fight. Yeah,
like black women are not the only women that experience alopecia. It's not just us that lose our hair.
Of course
so
not.
why is it
people
when Chris Rock made his comments, there was people saying, yeah, like people need to stop talking on black women's hair. If Jada I get it because I'm a black woman. I have afro hair, okay? I have tough hair. I don't have coily hair. I have tight curls, okay? I get it. My hair at some point, people were calling it picky. I expressed in my last episode, in one of our previous episodes recently, that I had a partner who didn't like my natural hair when I first went natural because they weren't sure. They were used to me having straight. I've been through the hair thing. I still go through the hair thing sometimes, even to come on talk on this podcast, to be very transparent. There's times when I'm like, actually, I'd rather have my weave than have my natural hair on YouTube. Do you see what I'm saying? Which means I still have a long way to go with how I see myself with my own hair. Do you see what I'm saying? I get it. I get the struggles, sis. I get the struggles, sis. But I do think that sometimes we are just a little bit too sensitive. And it's not just our demographic. There's other demographics as well that have been through adversities. That anything you say, it could be a reason to be cancelled. It becomes a thing.
ASAP.
ASAP Rocky. And I just feel like the social media culture and has led to everyone having to
being sensitive,
so sensitive to things.
I mean, you used a nice word. You use PC top terminologies like sensitive, but me, I think they're weak. I think people are just getting weak.
See, this is where people get to see how different we are, because I will try and say something in a tactful way. My co-host,
that's what I mean. I know.
My co-host over here, Venom, will just say something, and then next thing you know, we're getting we're getting people cussing us in the comments.
Yeah, we're under fire. No, but I'm gonna be.
But this is a thing. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't share some of those opinions with you. I'm just mindful that I don't want to get cancelled.
No, of course. No,
do you see what I'm saying? And it's crazy that we have freedom of speech, and I believe. But
you can't. But you're not free to speak.
And you know, I do believe that. I believe in freedom of speech, so long as you are not being hurtful. But my point is that now everything and anything is hurtful nowadays.
It's
hurtful.
The point where
To the point where everything has to be PC. Everything, and it's getting.
Yeah, that's no good. It's not good. And the thing is, in being PC, you're not celebrating or allowing people to develop mental fortitude. So you're actually affecting people's mental health by not offending them, because everybody has the right to be
That's a
offended.
good argument.
How you react to offense is actually what shows your mental stability.
Yeah.
The world is not meant to be nice for you. No, the world exists. You exist in it, and you survive. Like that's how life goes. But everyone's like, "Oh no, there's cotton wool everywhere." I'm like, "What the hell is this?" You don't know cotton wool goes up in flames. So the second there's fire, all of you lot are dead. It's a weakness. It's not strength. You need to really allow yourself to appreciate being offended. For example, I think Will Smith appreciated in that moment himself being offended, allowing himself to have a reaction, and then exercising that reaction, and then dealing with the consequence, if you know what I mean, instead of
Defo.
PC. I'm not saying his actions are what your actions should be. I'm still undecided about. I don't know what element of it is, but there's something about it I'm just not decided on. But what I'm saying is you cannot just expect the world to be happening forever in your favor. Like, that's not life.
Yeah. I just think people are overly sensitive. And do you know
Too
what?
much.
It's taken us doing this podcast for me to realise how often I think you've got to do so much more thinking before you say anything. And even when you're trying to be so PC, someone somewhere is still going to be offended. And it takes so much energy. It takes so much energy to be in the social media space where you discuss opinions, but you have to be so filtered. And I think it's one thing to filter nasty language, like swearing, cursing, and anything derogatory. But then I feel like now everybody, like, even down to labels and all that, like, it's getting a bit like, okay, now
it's a lot.
Okay, now I could be derogatory when I'm not being derogatory. Do you see what I'm saying? And that is exhausting.
Just by not saying something a particular way that is now the social norm of today. So you're like, wow.
I say all of that to say, just to go back to take it back to Jada and Will, that I get the whole Chris Rock shouldn't have said anything about Jada's hair, especially knowing what he knew, because seeing as now we know it was public knowledge. I didn't know it was, but it's public knowledge that she's got alopecia. But I think celebrities should know that it comes with the package, that when you go to an award show, someone somehow is gonna get it, and they weren't the only ones that jokes were cracked about, so why does it have to be you to react like that? And I get it, you've been the butt of the jokes for time, but let's just face it, there's other people that have been the butt of the joke for just as long. And as a celebrity, when you let things out into the public eye as a member of the public, as a public figure, be expected to be spoken about, for people to have opinions, for people to crack jokes about you. You kind of have to. It comes with the territory, and for that reason, I still think that Will had every right to feel how he felt, to react how he reacted. I just don't think he should have been aggressive about it. I think that's probably the line that I'm going to stand on. And when people are saying, that's why you don't talk about black women's hair, I get it. I get that black women have had adversities when it comes to our hair. I get that it's a very sore topic, but it comes to a point where it's like, actually, we kind of need to get over it. We kind of need to move on from that. It can't forever be a thorn on our side.
Yeah.
If you are proud of your hair and you're proud of where you are in that space, it shouldn't bother you that much. Obviously, it bothers Jada because it's still a new thing that she's going through, and she's got to get used to her new image without her hair. She's still an absolutely gorgeous woman. Do you know what I mean? So,
100%.
But
100%.
I know it's gonna take a knock on. It's gonna definitely take a knock on her confidence. I get all of that, but I just think that having the narrative of he shouldn't talk about a black woman's hair. It's kind of like, why do we have to make it about black women and their hair now?
Yeah,
do you see what I'm saying?
That's just making it something that it's
That's
not.
what I'm saying.
Like he would never have spoke about that if it wasn't Jada Pinkett.
If it was someone
you know what I mean?
else,
Like,
if Will was married to
Yeah.
a white thing, which, you know, seeing as they like to say black men, when they're successful, they only go for white women. Okay. If Will was one of those, right, and she had alopecia and a joke was cracked about her, would they say the same thing? Would it be black women, don't talk about black women? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Yeah, it really
It would
wouldn't.
be.
No.
It would be.
I personally
it would be,
think no black woman would be.
They
speaking
wouldn't talk about it. They'd be
the
like, oh well,
scenario
you
right
see,
now. Yeah.
see how he's defending his white woman. Would he defend a black woman like that? It would have.
Would he, yeah,
That's
that would be
what-
a conversation.
That's
yeah.
definitely what it would have been. Like, would he defend his black? If it was a black one, would he defend it? That's what I'm saying. By people look for discourse where there's no discourse. They look for argument.
What's the thing? What's the saying? Sorrow, love. It's not even sorrow, but yeah, whatever the thing. Sorrow, love, company,
Yeah.
or all of that.
Misery likes
There you go.
company.
Misery, love.
Honestly,
Yeah,
something that is not even about that.
That
somehow they've made it about that, and that's one of the things that I'm tired of. My quick rant is probably over. It's not a quick rant, sorry guys, but I'm just sick and tired of.
No, we're weaving it in and out.
Listen, because I'm tired of it. Like, everyone needs to kind of quit being so sensitive. To a degree, there's certain things we should definitely still be sensitive about, but if it's not directly related to that, just leave it out, please. Like, let's not make something that it's not. The issue at hand is Will saw his wife was hurt about something that was said. They've been the butt of the joke for time. He's probably sick and tired of hearing it, and boom, it was like, right, this.
Yeah, he said, if you want to talk about me, talk about.
If
Will
you want to
Smith,
talk
the
about
Beast.
me, crack jokes about me, but don't crack jokes about my wife. And I commend him having that emotion and having that you know, that.
That's the thing. That's why I'm so conflicted about it.
I
Because I was
commend
just
that
like,
bit. I don't agree with how he exercised it, but I do love the fact that he was upset in the first place and he told him to keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I love that bit. The punching bit, not so much. I think I would have been like, now babes, you've made a spectacle of the whole thing. Now everyone's definitely going to remember what he said. Before, people might have forgotten about it. They laugh kiki in the moment. 10 minutes later, all they'll be thinking about is you won your first Oscar. Now it's you won your first Oscar and you punched someone in the face because they said something about me.
I mean, it's the most memorable Oscar anyway. Like, even if they took it away from him, he still goes down in history this moment is better than an Oscar, if you know what I mean.
It's better because it's entertaining.
This Oscar is solidified.
Because it's entertaining.
Yeah, no, but
it's because it's entertaining.
This is
so now people are laughing at her, at her pain because it's funny.
I don't think people are laughing at. I don't think people are laughing
not
at Jada.
Jada. They're not laughing at Jada, but they're laughing at the whole fiasco. That's what it's entertaining for us.
Well, I guess I would say it's entertaining, but I don't think people are laughing at it per se. It's definitely shocking. I think it's the shock
people
factor.
are laughing at it. That's why people are
But
doing memes like everybody hates.
I mean,
Chris.
they are laughing. The memes
We
are
laughing
hilarious.
at them. We are laughing.
But the moment is immortal. Like, this moment is pop culture forever from this day until the world doesn't look like this. This is gonna trump Kanye coming out.
I don't know about that. Same
talking
level. Same level.
It's the same level, but like, I saw a meme that killed me. It was like Kanye weren't there, but I bet he's watching the Oscars. Like, and it's just a picture of Meek Mill just smiling, looking at his phone. And I was like, yeah, because Kanye's energy was in the building.
That's Kanye's
regardless.
energy.
That was a Kanye moment.
I reckon Kanye will probably come out.
That was a Kanye
hold on
moment.
A minute. I love how you managed to talk about. Listen, if Venom could talk about Kanye every episode, guys, he would talk. This would be a Kanye West podcast. I am your saving grace.
It is.
I am.
Kanye
Let me say something,
Unpicked.
guys. I am your saving grace because this guy, if we had the chance,
Fully.
every episode we'll talk about Kanye.
Every day.
Every day I will talk about
Every
Drake. So we're listen. I like how you weaved him in, okay? But just a real quick comment about Kanye. I reckon Kanye will somehow be saying that he's the reason for the season on this one. Because you know how Kanye likes to make everything about him somehow.
Yeah,
like,
fully.
yeah, basically, I taught Will. I'm also waiting for 50 Cent to say something because you know 50 when he says
Fully.
I'm waiting for 50.
That was the next person I thought of.
I'm waiting for 50.
I thought of Kanye and I thought of
I'm waiting
50
for 50.
immediately.
I'm waiting for 50. I'm waiting for 50.
I need to check my Instagram actually to see if 50 has actually posted anything. He might have just posted
He
a
might
meme,
have
but I
posted
want
something
to.
and we've missed it. If he has, guys, drop it in the comments because I need to see what 50 says because I'm that guy and he's hilarious. And he ain't got no
hilarious.
time. He don't care.
He's the biggest bully.
Honestly, I want to see what he has to say.
He would have done the same thing, though. I reckon 50
You
would
think 50
actually
would
have
have
done
gone
the
up?
same thing. If
50 would have knocked him out.
his partner, if 50's partner, yeah, he would have punched him. But if 50's partner was in a similar scenario, like same thing where she didn't appreciate because she's having, the issues, etc. Do I think he would have just done it raw on the stage
I don't
straight
think
away,
he would
though?
have walked
I
up on
don't
the
know.
stage like that. I also, do you know who
'cause
else?
I think he's a bit
do you know
gangster.
who-
He would have put
do you
real
know who else
pressure.
gives me that energy that Will displayed? Kevin Hart. I think that's why, off air, you were saying I keep saying Kevin Hart's name instead of... Yeah, I think that's probably why.
Because he was thinking of him.
Yeah, because I think...
Really?
I think Kevin
You
Hart...
think Kevin Hart would have smacked him,
Kevin
man?
Hart would have smacked him. Kevin Hart don't play, Don't think because he's got that short man syndrome thing.
Really?
I feel like Kevin wouldn't have it, man. I don't think Kevin Hart would have it. He gives me that vibe.
I think he would have bust up, but then he would have really got him back because he's a comedian. I think he would have got him back.
It from a comedic perspective. But I'm thinking if he had the emotions that Will had, so the whole you're talking about my woman's upset about it on a sore topic. I don't know if Kevin would have found it funny.
I don't know if I'd have seen. I can't see Kevin Hart doing it, but I tell you who I can see doing the same thing. Donald Glover.
Oh yeah, 100%. That one's without. Like, I don't need to. Like,
I could see him turning up out of nowhere. Like he just wouldn't have seen it coming, and then all of a sudden he's on stage doing "This Is America." Bow.
I liked what Denzel Washington said to Will.
I haven't seen that speech properly, but
he said to him that
speak on it.
Basically, it was something along the lines of when you're doing good, the devil comes and tries it. And I like the reason why I like that is because Denzel is very wise, and it's almost like Denzel was saying, "Will, you messed up, right? You could have dealt with that differently." And I rate that. I rate that. And as much as everyone's like, "Yeah, because he thumped him," I don't think that was the right way to go. I think the more we talk about it, that's where I'm sitting on. I'm sitting on defend your wife, 100%.
Yeah.
But don't be aggressive like that. And I get it, you're human, but remember, this is going to the Oscars. Whilst it's a party and it's an award ceremony, it's still part of your job as an actor. So you should conduct yourself as such. That's why you would never see Jay-Z and Beyonce acting a fool at a ceremony on stage. You wouldn't see it. Decorum always.
Of course,
Number
but
one.
they're on different things. They're on different things. Actually, they're on different things.
But before this, I put Will in the same bracket in terms of decorum and how he carries himself. I kind of put him in the same space as Jay-Z.
Jay-Z has not been. Jay-Z speaks very profound, but not
That's
so
what I
much
was searching
about his
for.
feelings.
I was looking for profound.
He ain't in his feelings, and he don't speak of his relationship. He speaks of relationships. Whereas Will Smith is very much over the recent years, he's been getting sucked into this mortal realm, which I was trying to say in the when we spoke before, and that's why I don't hold them the same. Yeah, because he's almost got pulled out of that.
I agree with you in all of that,
but
I still think both of them talk in a space of reflection and being profound, and they are both polished. My point is they are both polished in their perspective realms, and so I hold both of them to high regard for that reason. And because they are polished, I expect them to behave in a polished manner. But Will Smith stepped out of that, and I get it.
Kanye energy.
I get that Will Smith has almost been ridiculed. He's been ridiculed a lot, especially with the whole...
He's been ridiculed for 2 years straight.
Since the entanglement. And remember episode 1, we said he all this, he's brought on himself. Because they didn't need to air the entanglement thing. The same way that they reacted to August saying all of that, if they just kept quiet and left it to mystery and we didn't hear entanglement, we wouldn't be laughing at how Jada keeps stepping out on Will, and people would be cracking jokes about all of that. We wouldn't be cracking jokes. We wouldn't have the opportunity to.
You wouldn't have the material.
There's no material there apart from August allegedly sleeping with Jada, and we would never know the truth. So like this is the thing. I get it. Like Will stepped out of that. He's been talking a bit. They've been talking too much. They've been letting us in too much. Whereas Jay-Z and Beyonce, we don't know much. All we know is Beyonce created. All we know is Beyonce created Lemonade because Jay-Z supposedly cheated, and we suspect he cheated even more because Solange slapped him up in the lift. But other than that, we don't. They've not really said anything. They've not come out.
You never know.
Not too much. Like they've hinted, but there's not been a official. Yeah, he cheated on me with someone called Becky, and this is what we went through. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the difference between the two. But I still hold, despite Will doing all of that, I still hold him in high regard and still think of him as a profound, polished actor.
Still think he's a legend.
But he's a polished. I'm talking about his character. I still see him as polished. You know what I mean? And profound. The same way I look at Jay-Z as polished and profound. And so I would have expected him to behave in such a manner. And that's why a lot of people say, look at Beyonce. Do you know how many of these award shows that Beyonce's seen people act up? She's been there through the whole thing. You don't hear...
She's been through every single one. She's the common denominator.
She's always there. And I saw a reaction. They showed a picture. I saw, not a picture, was it a video or picture of Beyonce reacting to Will Smith's thingy? And Jay-Z looked shocked and Beyonce was bare grinning. Just laughing. Just like... the look on her face was like, and she
was like, yay, still in the building. That's what she was thinking.
She's seen it all. But I love how they carry themselves as a couple in terms of we don't really know their business like that. And
you don't need to, man. You don't need to.
Not to go into Will and Jada again about their relationship because we've done that before. But I just feel like they've been asking for it for a long time. Now they reacted to it. And the reaction, I just think, was a bit...
But the thing is, again, he's a professional in a professional environment. And I personally feel like, because that's where my energy probably would have been as a default, would have been like, to ask you what you cool, laugh it off. Yeah, I reckon I would have been like, cool, laugh it off, whatever you want to throw, you know what I mean, salt on my face or whatever. And then I looked at my partner and I'm like, oh, you're mad? Okay, bun this then. Because I'm not happy with the joke, but I'm, you know what I mean, I thought you was going to laugh it off. No, you're not. Cool, whatever. But I don't think I'm going to get up and smack a man. That's why I need to fully digest it and talk to Bay to understand, like, what are we saying about this? Because it's different when it's your wife as well, man. And you've been through what they've been through.
As things are now, with you and Bay. Yeah. Without talking to her, how would you then react?
Okay, so I'm going to try and deep it because I have to put the context there. You've been together, how long they been married? Like, over 10 years. It's nearer to 20, but let's just say 20 for argument's sake. Married 20 years, 2 kids, and public scrutiny and stress and whatnot, conflict. But you're still together, rock solid as far as you guys are concerned. After having the world ridicule you, basically. And then you're sat front row of a award show. I guess it's the first time he's been nominated for an Oscar. Emotions running high. And then someone throws shade at my wife. And my emotions are already charged. Plus, I've already had them 2 years. I might smack a man. It's looking more likely now when I try to detail it. If I know that that's a real problem for her, then it's definitely gonna be vocal, man. I don't know about their relationship, but he's gone at her before, so maybe he's already treading on thin ice. And now I'm here, and then you're gonna do it again. Maybe I've even had words with him off. Maybe I've already had words with him off. Okay. You know what I mean? Offline. Okay, yeah. And then you're doing me like that. Okay, cool. No. It's on site, isn't it? It's on site.
That's for you. It's gonna be on site. I think
if that's if the context is what I just expressed, and we've already spoken about it, or the previous offense was already getting to her, whether you knew about it or not.
Do you know what?
And I'm feeling like that. It might have to be on site, man.
I'm protective over my partners. I'm the kind of woman, we go out to eat. If they don't bring you, my man, the right food, I'm gonna say something. He might be like, babes.
Yeah, that embarrasses me. That does embarrass me.
You see what I'm saying?
That embarrasses me.
You get where I'm coming from now. Do you get where I'm coming from now?
No, but that's the mother of my kids.
No, but hold on. I would be like, listen, excuse me, like the way it will come back, and I'll be like, excuse me, but you actually ordered this. Do you mind changing it? I wouldn't be rude about it, but I'll just be like, If they come at me rude though, I will react. That's me because my first response is, I know you ain't talking to me like that. That's me. But initially, I'd just be like, this is what he wanted, because I'd want him to be happy. We're paying for this. I want him to be happy. So I'm just thinking about,
honestly, it's nothing for them
just
to change
it.
Well.
Yeah, but that's because I want my partner to.
But that's not open disrespect.
I'm getting there, Venom. I'm getting there because I'm saying that that's not even an open disrespect, and I would say something because I want them to be happy. I want them to be comfortable. That's the thing. I want them to be comfortable. Because when you're your partner, you want your partner to be comfortable. When you're together, when you're out, even when you're not out, you want them to be comfortable. So that's what I'd be thinking about. So if I was sitting there, and let's say it was the other way around. So, it's the other way around, and they crack a joke about my man. I might not get up and slap the guy on the stage, but they'll hear me. Don't talk about him like, listen, that's when the angry black woman will come out. I think I would say something right there and then, which is why I get Will's reaction in the moment, because I would definitely react in the moment. Would I get up on stage and slap you though in front of other stars like that? Like as an actress, I don't know if they call it actresses anymore. As an actor, would I get up, walk on the stage, thump you, go back to my seat and carry on shouting? I'm not sure, but I would definitely pop off in my chair. Pop off. It's on site. What? Straight.
But then I feel like that's okay, being that you're a woman, because like
no, hold on.
is not expected.
No,
from
but
women.
if it was a girl, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's a guy that said something rude about my man. If it was a girl, girls can be aggressive with each other. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, they can, but that's
if it was a girl, if it was another woman and she's saying something rude about my man, fair enough, it might not affect him the same way, but you never know. Guys have feelings too, get me? And I know this thing is a sore point for my man, and he's not looking happy. Bish, I'm saying something because that's my man, and I want him to be comfortable. But I don't know if I would get physical, and girls can get physical. Don't ever make that assumption that it's not the same because they're women.
I'm not saying they cannot.
Don't make that assumption that it's not the same because they're women. Because girls can.
It's definitely not the same, though. It's not the same.
Why not?
Girls becoming physical is far more, not profound. It's far more like
unexpected. Is that what you're gonna say?
Or surprising,
no.
or it's far more elevated than men becoming physical.
I feel like that's a very sexist thing to say.
Yeah, boy.
Guys, in the comments, as always, can you please let us know? I mean, I've seen a lot of opinions on Twitter and Instagram, but I would love to hear what our unpickers. I've kind of started calling them the unpickers in the
unpickers. I like it.
I don't know how you let us know how you feel about it. You might not even like it, but with it for now. Let us know in the comments what you think about the situation, and also let us know if you was in that predicament. If you was in Will's shoes, what would you have done, male or female? Like, what would you have done? Because it would be nice to hear what you lot think as well. So we're going to wrap it up there. If you enjoyed this episode and you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, if you're still subscribed and you came back, thank you so much for watching again. We will leave our socials at the bottom of the screen as normal, so you can see where you can find us. And guys, we appreciate you. I just want to say that real quick. We really do appreciate you guys. We do want to know what sort of content you want to see from us. Help us out. Let us know what sort of topics you want to see us talk about. If you've got any suggestions, you can leave it in the comments. You could also email us. I'll put our email down below in the description as well, so you can contact us directly and let us know what sort of things you want to hear us discuss. And then guys, until next time, peace.
Peace.